Hello again, friends. This time, let us try and understand longitudes and their measuring. Firstly, what are longitudes? Longitudes are imaginary lines that run pole to pole, diverging from one pole and converging at the other respectively. They extend in a north-south direction. Unlike latitudes, all longitudes are of equal length. Besides locating a place on the surface in the eastern and the western hemisphere respectively, longitudes also measure time. Longitudes were used by Greek geographer Claudius Ptolemy. Now, let us see how to measure a longitude. This is the equator, and this is the prime meridian, taken as the common 0-degree longitude since October 1884. Agreed at the International Meridian Conference in Washington, D.C. that the 0-degree longitude would pass through Greenwich near London. It is interesting to note, however, that France had abstained then and continued to use Paris meridian until 1911. Longitudes are lines joining points at an angle to the east and to the west of the prime meridian. It is basically an angle between the longitude itself and the prime meridian measured horizontally. Lines of longitude are seen to divide the whole world into segments which would fit on the globe somewhat like this. Each longitude is an angle that ranges from 0 to 180 degrees east and 0 to 180 degrees west from the prime meridian. Thus, the whole world would have 180 degrees longitudes east and 180 degrees longitudes west, which would look like this on a globe. It needs to be noted that all the longitudes cut the equator at right angles. They are the farthest from each other at the equator and meet each other at the poles. All longitudes lie in a plane that passes through the axis of the earth, and each longitude is a half of a great circle. The longitude exactly opposite to the Greenwich meridian is also called as the antemeridian. This longitude, like others, is not smooth, but has dents along its path. These dents accommodate the time zones on either side, like between Russia and America, and along the Aleutian Islands in the northern hemisphere, and further the islands in the Pacific as a political domain. This line is also called as the international dateline. The world changes its date along this line. The prime meridian on one side and the international dateline on the other divide the globe into the eastern and the western hemisphere respectively. How do we understand the eastern and western hemisphere? Now, as seen in this picture to the left, the prime meridian has been actually drawn on the ground at Greenwich in London. The picture to the right shows me with my wife and my son to my left and right respectively. If I am standing exactly at the prime meridian as I am, my wife, who is to my left, would say that she is in the eastern hemisphere. My son, who is to my right, would say that he is in the western hemisphere. This is how the western hemisphere looks like. It lies behind the prime meridian in time. This is how the eastern hemisphere looks like. It lies ahead of the prime meridian in time. The territorial boundaries of India here are not to scale. Put together, they depict the whole world, and it needs to be understood that if it is 12 noon at the prime meridian, it would have already been past noon in the eastern hemisphere, while it would be pre-noon in the Western Hemisphere. Details of these time zones will be presented in the next presentation. This presentation was prepared and narrated by Dr. Manojkumar P. Devne, SP College, Pune, India. The following references were used for making this presentation. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.